right, so today we have an interesting topic that's been making the rounds recently about a certain game and prices around video games. Now, this video is going to be completely tailored to my own experiences and my entire life around video games. So if you have a completely different opinion, that's totally fine. I'm just here to share my piece and kind of get out of here. And if you want to share your piece, let me know in the comment section down below. If you're new to this channel, I'm very big on giving everybody the opportunity to share their opinion as long as it's respectful. So go ahead and do that in the comment section. And again, prices around video games is a topic that has gotten more and more attention recently because we've been hearing from a lot of insiders that there's a very big chance that GTA 6 might be $100. Now, when I say $100, I'm a typical American, so I'm talking about just America here. I know that in other countries, video games are already over that benchmark. I really don't think that's a good thing. I think it hurts the market in general overall. But again, I'm speaking from my own experience. Now, with video games and with prices, I'm avoiding political talk here, okay? Because politics and the economy of a nation actually do play a role in prices. And I'm gonna bring that up in a second here, but again, I'm not trying to make this political. I'm not fucking talking about political beliefs here. In general, things have gotten more expensive since 2020. I think that's a fair thing to say, right? The world was fucking shut down, prices soared, and then they've kind of stagnated a little bit. They're just kind of continuously creeping up. And as the price of living goes up in basic needs like groceries or gas or electricity or whatever the fuck it is, as things get more expensive, you're gonna have to try to cut costs here or there. I know personally for me, over the last year or so, I went from making a shit ton of money at work to making an okay amount of money at work. So as things have gotten more expensive, I've had to cut back on buying new games. And yes, there's the age-old argument, well, you can get Game Pass or you can get the services or whatever, and that's totally fine. I don't personally like going down those routes, but if I absolutely needed to, I would. But where does all this come from? So if you don't know about GTA 5, I don't really know what you're doing on a gaming channel, but GTA 5 was one of the biggest games ever made. Rockstar crushed it with that game. It's one of the best games of all time, in my opinion. And GTA 6 is on the way. The hype around GTA 6 is fucking massive. It is huge. It's a big wave. Games are going to get crushed if they release anywhere, probably within the same month as GTA 6, honestly. But this game looks to be groundbreaking. And with that, a lot of insiders are pointing to the fact that in the United States, this game might reach $100. And some people are even kind of like defending that point and making fun of people who are bitching about it, which to me doesn't really make a lot of sense. Firstly, I just want to say, if you're someone who has parents that will buy you video games still, no one's coming at you. That's actually a really, really good thing. But there have been some people on the internet making jokes around that the people that are complaining about the games going up in price are only complaining because the other people who buy them games aren't going to pay for that. Which, for one, I think that's a very valid point. Being a young parent or even just like a middle-aged parent right now has got to be really fucking hard as things have gotten more expensive. It's not like children have ever been cheap, but nowadays children are even more expensive, especially with wanting phones and games and all this shit. The other like classic argument is, well, gamers, they spend so much money on skins every single year, right? Why are you mad that you have to spend $100 to get a base copy of a game when you would spend that $100 on a collector's edition, or you would spend $300 on skins? And that's an argument that I can definitely weigh in on because I've purchased collector's editions and I've purchased a shit ton on skins. The main difference is, for one, collector's editions give you more than the base game. At least they used to, right? Collector's editions now, they kind of suck. But take the Hogwarts Legacy Collection Edition, for example. When you're purchasing it, you're getting a bunch of stuff in the game, but then you're also getting like the book with the floaty wand on it. That's a really bad example, but you kind of get what I'm fucking saying. You always get something else. Like with the Spider-Man 2, you get the really cool 19 inches of Venom. If the base games are going to be $100 and we're not going to get the stuff that we normally do for spending like $120, that just doesn't really make sense. And then collector's editions are just going to skyrocket in the process. Now, again, if you can afford buying video games every single time at $70 to $100, fucking power to you. Like, I'm super happy for you, but I'm not one of those people, and I'm not fucking ashamed to admit that. I think most people are like that. Again, especially right now, just with the climate of economies globally. I think most people aren't going to be able to justify spending $100 every single time a game comes out. Now, for me, for an example, $70 for a game is fucking really expensive. And I'm kind of back to how I was as a kid, where I'm only really buying a few games a year, when 2 or 3 years ago, I was able to buy games pretty much regularly. And I think that's just the direction it's going to go. People are going to go from buying a shit ton of games every year to maybe only buying a few. I also think it might impact how indie games are priced as well, if base AAA games are based at $100, which could be bad. Now, do I think that people are going to stop releasing $40 games? No. But I do think that there's a chance they will have to eventually. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see like how this impacts the overall gaming climate. And I don't really blame people for thinking that GTA 6 is going to be the one that paves the way for $100 games. Like I said, GTA 6 is going to be a massive game. Even if it sucks, even if it doesn't sell very well, I think this game is still going to sell incredibly well. But I just think it's funny when people like, let's say live streamers, for example, when they come out and they say, oh, well, why are you people complaining? Because you guys spend all this money on skins. Well, let me put it in perspective for you. When I choose to buy a fucking skin in a game, it's $20 at most up front. At least that's like where I stop myself from buying skins. So I'm not dropping $100 at one time. I'm buying maybe one skin every 2 or 3 weeks at that $20 price point. So that's not $100 up front. That's over $100 over the course of a year, but that's for something that I can continuously play over and over and over and over again. And I'm not saying that you can't do that with GTA. I personally know people that are still playing GTA 5. But for someone like myself, who I'm not like the biggest diehard GTA fan, spending $100 just to make a video on this channel doesn't really seem worth it, even though I can use it as a fucking tax write-off now. So W to the community. In general, I think for the common person who they're only buying like 1 or 2 games a year already, that might kind of push them away from buying games in general, which obviously is not a good thing all around. Now, you might be sitting here thinking this argument makes absolutely no sense. I totally get it. You know, you have to come from a certain perspective to see $100 video games not being the best thing, I think. And I think that people shilling for companies and being like, yeah, go for it, they're not seeing the bigger picture of it. But again, I can understand why some people don't think it's the end of the world, since games are already pretty much rounded up to that. Like, if you want to buy a game right now, you're still spending $70. So 30 extra bucks for a lot of people might not be the biggest thing. For someone like myself, it kind of is. Yeah, maybe that makes me a broke boy. I don't know. I don't know what the fucking kids think anymore. I'm trying to be an adult here and not make any jokes during this video, because this topic is a lot more serious than my normal ones. But you know, I think pricing video games at $100 is not a very good thing, at least for me and for my group of friends. I don't think that's a really good thing. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you don't really think that it's a huge deal like I do, let me know and we can talk about it. You know, again, I love talking with people that have different perspectives. Now, if you're someone like me and you're gonna have to kind of scale back buying games if this does happen, I do want to hear that in the comment section below as well, just to justify my own feeling. And if you're excited for GTA 6 regardless, let me know. Because either way, again, GTA 6 might be the only game that I'm willing to pay $100 for, just because of how fucking culturally important a GTA game is. Thank you guys so much for everything. This has been Nate, otherwise known as Wicked, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.